Well, hello again. Here we are, Cradle Mountain again. So we're 1 week on from last weekend's attempt to get to Scott-Kilvert, which we had to abort because of the pretty full-on hail and driving rain and all around conditions. So back 1 week later to have another crack at it. So not as cold as it was last week, where it was only 6 degrees setting off. Today it's only, well, it's 10, but it's no snow. Past week it's actually been quite warmish, in Launceston at least, in the low 20s, so it's set for a good couple of days. Cool, cloudy 16 today, and then sunny 15, 16 tomorrow, so it should be good and dry. So it should be a good weather-wise to get through. So it's, as you can see, Cradle, just the tip, covered in cloud this morning. Nice and still. So we've been into Westpac in downtown Launceston, had my pack adjusted yesterday just to get it sitting further up on my hip. Already it feels better. And the big change since last week, have a look at those puppies. Nice brand new spanking pair of scarpers. So we retired the Kathmandu treads. Served me well. But after last weekend's little debacle, where there was more water inside my shoe than outside, these little suckers should see my feet at least keep nice and warm and dry. So I've kind of just already only had them a day and they're very comfortable. Not really needing to wear them in, but just getting used to them today before we start the Overland in 3 weeks. So the track for today. So we're going up Hanson Peak Track to start with, and then more than likely we'll turn off and go around Hansons Peak. We'll go around the back by Twisted Lakes Track. And wifey's a little bit timid on the chains, so rather than a quick up and over, we're going to take a long route around the back. So, speaking to the rangers this morning, so it's still pretty boggy after all the rain we had last week, so I would imagine it's pretty boggy most of the time anyway. Still, we know what we're in for. And it's much earlier today, so we had a 5:30 start this time in Lonnie, and all the faffing around. It's now 9:30, whereas last week it was about 11:30 I think before we started, so a little bit more time to take our time and have that feeling of having to rush to Scott-Kilvert today. It's already warming up. So we'll just knuckle down, get to the little bottom of Hansons Peak, and then we'll make the final call as to what track we use. So we made it up to the first little saddle. Much warmer than last week. I already had to strip off. Strip off one layer. I'm already dripping in sweat, so it's a big difference. Last week we were getting pelted by hail at this point, so it's a refreshing change. Lots of people up on coming down and going up Hansons Peak. Decision time for us. So we're going up or over? Up and over?
Down.
Or around the long way?
Long way.
So you can see the track this week. I know where it is. Over that little hump, around, touches the lake down there and then wraps around the back. Let's go then, mate. I'm just down at the base here. Twisted Lakes track, and it's still boggy, but last week it was water up to halfway up your legs, so it's not actually as bad as I feared. Track's drying out.
Yeah, looks much better. Amazing what a week will do.
Here's the biggest difference, clearly shown from last week. So this was an absolute swimming pool just 7 days ago. This week it's well above the water. So the other big difference from last week we're noticing, it's just the absolute quiet. Whereas last week it was just that distant roar of waterfalls. The track was a mini waterfall, but today it's just still and calm. The odd voice you can hear up above us on Hansons Peak, just behind that tree. So they're certainly making much better time this week than last week, and we were getting battered by hailstorms on and off. all part of the fun, but it gets to a point where it's just a bit silly. It's a spectacular scenery. So that's Hansons Peak, just over there on the right. So we're about halfway around now on Twisted Lakes Track. Just about to head over there, kind of centre of screen. There's a just wrap around that ridge, and then we'll start heading up to rejoin the Hanson Peak Track. Leave it for another day, but I'd love to come back here and just look at what's over there at the edge, whether it just drops off or it's a gentle slope away. Been up here so often the past couple of months, I just feel like it's our backyard. So this Twisted Lakes Track, it makes you work for it, especially this part of it, because we're kind of walking up from the lake down there, so it's not drastically steep, it's just uphill. At least we've made it further than we did last week. We only got about halfway up this hill before we pulled the pin, so somehow we're just going to get up to that ridge line over there that'll rejoin the main track. It's just another face to Cradle this week compared to last week. Just no noise compared to the, like I was saying, the roaring waterfalls and wind. Very peaceful today. So we've almost made it back to the main Hanson Peak Track. It's got the face of Cradle over there just in the centre, so it's stone's throw away, and we're not there yet. But that's a nasty little climb, that. Not steep or anything, just all uphill and technical, so it's, you earn your keep coming up from the lake down there. Alright, so I think we're over the worst of it now. One final little pinch to get over, but looks like we're on top and about to rejoin. And then it's lunchtime. So how pretty is that? I guess these are the Twisted Lakes. Hanson Peak Track just over there on the ridge line. And then Cradle. So the hut's just around the corner there. So finally we can say we've completed Twisted Lakes Track. taken 3 goes. Whew. Well worth it. Got to put your back into it, but this is the reward you get. Feel the tadpoles. Must be thousands of them. Just coming up to the track junction now. Did it. Kind of comforting to see Cradle Mountain again. It's hidden from view around the back there at Twisted Lakes, so it's and lunch is only 10 minutes away. That's the other comfort. Oh gee, so it's a hard slog on that Twisted Lakes track because it's so rough, no boardwalk, so this is a real luxury. The final few metres, there's the hut over there. We had these helicopters buzzing back and forth all morning, taking the overland little turd buckets away. We'll be contributing to that in a few weeks' time. Fly away, little turdies. Here's the junction, so that's where we'll be heading shortly. Lake Rodway. But it's lunchtime first. I wonder if there's somebody there today. Knock knock, anyone home? We just finished our lunch, quick little rest break, so now we're off to the destination, Scott-Kilvert. 45 minutes according to the info on the board in the little hut, so that means probably a good hour and a half for us. Seems to be clearing. Over there. It's a bit cool when the sun's behind the cloud. Feeling much better now. The stomach's lined with a bit of food. Way over there in the distance, the trusty car park. See our car. We feel like we're a million miles away. Away we go, mate. Lake Rodway, here we come. So they're doing some track work, which is good to see. So these boardwalks, like I say, gee, they're a luxury if you've been slogging your way along. Something like Twisted Lakes Track, it's muddy, tree roots, rocks, cliffs, threw everything at us. And then you get this. So, how easy is this? You really got to appreciate it and thank the national parks for the effort they do, because it doesn't go all the way obviously on boardwalks, but it really makes it, just gives you a little bit of a breather. We're now getting a bit of a view of the back of Cradle, just as we kind of wrap around on the Scott-Kilvert Hut track. Spectacular. And so we're heading a little dip, mountains all around us. The only place for a lake, Lake Rodway, would be down the bottom there. So it looks like it's good, open, free-flowing track. We've got lots of boardwalk ahead of us.
Having a bit of a rest, are we?
View, mate.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Not many people would see the back of Cradle.
That is spectacular. As you move.
There's another turd bucket being taken away. Seeing it from the
Is that a truck?
back end, it's just like a whole different scale than what you see from Dove Lake.
Absolutely mind blowing. It looks like a truck up there though.
No, this is rockfall. So just come upon Artist Pool. Can't see why it's called that. It's just spectacular. Alright, so this is getting a bit silly now. The views are just spectacular. So you just walk around one corner and it just opens up to this. Wow. Got a lake appearing down there. I'd say that's Lake Rodway. Basically where we're heading. Can't see the hut though, so I don't know where it's. Must be tucked away behind one of those little ridges in front of it. There's a couple of little fish in there. I don't know if they get here. They're not frogs. These are full-blown fish. Is it mountain trout or I don't know. Here he comes. So just coming up on the first little lake in the shadow of Cradle Mountain. I don't know what that one is. I can't be bothered getting my map out. And so it's not Lake Rodway. It's not big enough. There's a bigger one just over the rise. Seen a few footsteps in the mud, but they all seem to be heading back the other way, so given it's Sunday night, curious to see how many people actually reach Scott-Kilvert today. Oh, there you go. Flynn's Tarn, that's what we're looking at. Wow. It's just like you're in the land of the giants. So that'll be Lake Rodway. Pretty certain of that. I don't have my map, but that's my guess. The hut can't be too far away now, surely. And we're both starting to feel the pinch a little. That twisted lakes track just took it out of us. Well, at least we know there's plenty of water, fresh water. How you feeling, mate? 15 minutes to go.
Have a look at my boots. I have no ability to keep them clean.
You need a pair of
Scarpers,
mate.
Scarpers.
Stylish, comfortable.
Or leather.
Every hiker's must have.
Every hiker's dream. I like these $20 pair.
So I've made an effort, looked at the map, and the hut is just around the corner there on the water's edge, so it's 15 minutes or so away, and we can rest. It's all been gentle downhill. That just means it's gentle uphill tomorrow.
You're so funny.
So now we know it's only 15 minutes or so away. It just puts that little spring in your step. Just had a quick break as well. So it's an easy track from the little ranger emergency hut at the base of Face Track. So it said 45 minutes in the hut, but for us, taking your time, it's I don't know, maybe an hour and a half I reckon, but it's a good track, lots of boardwalk at the start. Maybe down the bottom part here it's just rocky track, but it's a well-worn track. We'll come back and have a look at that, maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. I just want to get to the hut first. So we're just getting a little glimpse of the top of the Scott-Kilvert Hut. So we made it. There's a little platform. I don't know if that's it's probably a helicopter platform. So here we are. This is one of those iconic little huts in the Cradle area. Hello? Anybody home? Looks like there's somebody here.
Huh? There's someone here.
Oh, there are craps here. There you go. Upstairs. So we'll just go for a walk through of the hut, Scott-Kilvert Hut. So you got a couple benches there, cooking shelf there, and we got the fireplace. Outside there's a whole bunch of coal storage little boxes, a little kitchen bench. Quite big and roomy, and then upstairs it's the sleeping quarters. Heaps of room. Although there are heaps of flies in here as well. So I've got two people there. I think we'll leave them to it tonight. Sleep outside. So I don't want to really touch their stuff, but this is fire exit. And then just need to be careful. Coming down the steps, pretty steep. Just a quick lap of the hut to show you outside. So there's that iconic image of the hut. So you got Dove Lake Car Park, 3 hours that way, Waterfall Valley Hut, 2.5 that way. So we're kind of in the middle. And you've got the towering Cradle Mountain kind of block towering above us. And these are the little coal briquette type things. Oh. Money in there, keep you warm at night. Toilet off up that way, And we went and checked them out. That's it's a good 5-minute walk, and then you're greeted with a tiny little box that's chock-a-block full of mozzies. So little wonder that there's a lot of evidence of people just in the bush. A few little rough campsites around here, one over there, a couple over here. That's the one thing that's kind of surprised me, is the lack of camping spots. No platforms. These little dark and danky ones, and mozzies. So we've got a rainwater tank around the back here. Needs to be treated, obviously. Yeah, we've got running water. There's the fire exit. So there you go, that's home for tonight.